Representing Artistella Rosa, and we're going to produce this reading of Going Wild by Peter Snoad, also representing Arts Fort Worth. And this is our third reading of the new Works Festival. So I want to thank everybody for coming along. There's going to be a few more people here showing up, but we're going to go ahead and start our introductions. I'm here representing Artistella Rosa, who was putting together this reading, and I'm going to go ahead and let our actors introduce themselves and maybe tell us what role they're playing tonight. We'll start with Mr. Freddie over there.
Hello, I'm Freddie Quiroga. I'll be playing FBI Agent Jackson.
I'm Lauren Riley. I'll be playing Alex Walker.
I'm Nicholas Seaburn. I'll be playing Andy McBride.
I'm David Wilson Brown. I'll be playing Bo Stafford.
I'm Susan Van Belkom, and I'll be playing Meredith Stafford.
I'm Karen Matheny, and I'll be playing Kizzy McBride.
My name's Anissa Quiroga, and I'm playing Darlene Carpenter.
My name is Ronald Fernandez. I'll be reading for Agent Castillo.
And my name is Rob Vasquez, and I'm the director. And we'll also be reading some stage directions, and along with Lauren, some various rogue news reporters. So, should be a fun time. We now present to you Going Wild. Let's make sure my phone's off here. Before we get started, sorry guys. We now present to you Going Wild, a play by Peter Snoad. Going Wild. The characters are Meredith Stafford, a children's librarian, Bo Stafford, her husband, he's a fast food franchise owner, and a Civil War reenactor. Andy McBride, a pharmacist and also a Civil War reenactor, happens to be Bo's brother. We have Kizzy McBride, Andy's wife, who is also a beautician. Darlene Carpenter, a paralegal, close friend of Meredith. And we also have Alex Walker, the director of Green Future, an environmental group. FBI Agent Jackson, FBI Agent Castillo, right here. The setting is the living room of the Stafford's home in a small southern town. The time is 2017. Act 1, Scene 1. The comfortable and tidy living room of the Stafford's home. A summer morning. The front door to the house is upstage. Two other doors or exits lead to the kitchen area and bedrooms respectively. A Civil War era musket leans against one wall. At rise, Meredith, who wears a kitchen apron over her dress, is tidying up the room. Bo, dressed in a Confederate Army captain's uniform, is buttoning up his jacket. He glances out of the window onto their front yard, and he is dismayed and angered by what he sees.
Gosh darn it to heck.
What is it?
Well, I finally had him.
Oh my!
Yeah, I did. The crabgrass, the chickweed, the whatever it is, the mellow.
Mallow.
Yeah, well, I don't know, these daggone moles. I mean, holy smokes.
The doorbell rings.
And that'll be Andy.
I'll go.
She opens the door. Andy McBride is standing there. He also wears a Confederate Army uniform. He's carrying a pack, bedroll, and musket. In his looks and demeanor, he is an unlikely soldier.
Good morning, Meredith.
Morning, Andy.
The Lord has gifted us with another beautiful day.
Praise be. Come on in.
Andy sets down what he's carrying.
Morning, Bo. I see you got a little problem in your front yard there.
Moles.
Pesky little critters.
Pesky. They're killers is what they are. They've killed it. They've killed the lawn.
I wouldn't go that far.
Well, it's never going to recover from that.
If you get rid of the moles,
Well, how do you do that humanely?
well, you can't trap them with a apple heart.
Gas bombs.
Oh, very humane.
Chewing gum, maybe.
Chewing gum.
You toss it down the holes and they choke on it.
That's humane?
It's quick, so they say.
Well, who cares? This is war.
And you are just raring to go.
Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Bo, they're moles. They're doing what moles do. They don't mean any harm.
They're harming us.
Andy, you got anything
What?
to make them go away?
Do I?
At the pharmacy?
No. I only stock meds for humans. Although a customer once asked me for canine suppositories
Really?
for dogs.
Right.
She didn't have any dogs.
How about arsenic?
Arsenic.
Oh, I don't sell that either. You could probably get it from the garden center or online, except can't send poisons through the mail, so that's not an option. You know what?
I'm done.
What do you mean?
I'm not doing this anymore.
Oh,
Enough is enough.
you're quitting.
I'm not quitting. I'm moving on. I've got better things to do with my time.
Let me guess. You want me to take care of this?
Honey, you were the best problem solver ever.
Any suggestions?
I can't think about this anymore, okay? Just, I don't know, do what you want. Be creative.
Okay, I will do my best. You guys got everything?
All set.
Good to go?
No, you're not.
She holds out an upturned hand to Bo.
You always say you want to be authentic.
Bo removes his wristwatch and places it in her palm. Her hand stays where it is.
I told you I'm taking it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Captain Stafford, but I don't believe you carried a cell phone with you in 1862.
It's for emergencies.
In case you run out of beer.
In case I need to call you. Or you need to call me.
Suit yourself. What is it this time?
Battle of Harper's Ferry.
That's a big one, right?
Humdinger.
Well, you two be sure to reenact the living, not the dead.
Honey, I told you we haven't had a casualty in 10 years.
Bo dons his captain's hat and shoulders his pack and bedroll. Meredith picks up Bo's musket, which is standing against the wall.
I don't know, this old musket of yours.
I had it checked out again. It's fine.
She hands him the musket.
Well, be careful and don't have too much of a good time.
Oh, I will. I won't. I promise. See you later.
He kisses her on the cheek.
Bye, Mary.
Keep an eye on your big brother, will ya?
Always do. Brothers in arms.
Don't you go stealing my rations this time.
Did Kizzy pack you lunch?
No, but
I made extra.
bless you.
They move to the exit and Bo's musket collides with a piece of furniture.
Will you watch where you're going with that thing? Oh my God.
No harm done.
Bye.
Bye.
Bo and Andy exit. Meredith again contemplates the ruined lawn. She has a sudden thought and her face lights up. The lights fade. Act 1, Scene 2. The same. 3 weeks later, Meredith sits drinking coffee and reading a newspaper. Bo, in golfing attire, stands at the window surveying the garden. His golf clubs are beside him in a carrier with a Confederate flag decal visible on the front.
This has got to go.
Oh,
It ain't natural.
it's a natural garden.
It's a natural disaster is what it is.
She joins him at the window.
I told you we've just got to give it time. It's just taking shape.
Shape? What shape? I don't see shape. I see abandonment. I see neglect.
Like I said,
Anyways, I never agreed to this.
you gave me carte blanche.
I what?
You said, do what you want, be creative.
I meant fix the lawn, not get rid of it.
It was Johnny's idea.
Is that right?
Remember that summer at my sister's in Chicago and the empty house down the block, the one with the big overgrown yard? Johnny and his little cousins, they had so much fun romping around in there, catching butterflies, playing hide-go-seek in the long grasses. It was kind of wild and magical. And Johnny thought we could have something like that here.
Now, wild and magical, huh?
And guess what?
What?
They're a thing. Wild natural gardens. I was online yesterday.
Sweetheart, it's a nice idea, very creative, but it's not going to fly.
Why not?
Because we need a lawn.
Why?
Everybody has a lawn.
Which they spend half their life taking care of.
I don't.
Imagine, no more mowing,
I like to mow.
no more watering every other day,
Honey,
no more giant sucking sound from your wallet.
and this is what you want instead. It's like a lawn gone to seed.
Because that's mostly what it is when you start out. But you wait, I've added some lovely new native plants.
And this is 3 weeks? What's it going to be like in 3 months?
I think you'll be pleasantly
The
surprised.
neighbors will go nuts.
Oh, I didn't think so.
Meredith, we're talking lawns here. Lawns. They're lines you do not cross.
We'll be a showcase.
What?
Once they see how lush and vibrant our natural garden is, they'll want to go wild too. We are on the cutting edge here.
All right, well, this
That was a
ain't,
joke.
this ain't funny, okay? Natural garden, my ass.
You'd be surprised how many people are doing it.
Liberals.
Bo, it's a no-brainer when you think about it. Why drive yourself crazy trying to create the perfect garden when you can let Mother Nature do the work, save money, and help the environment all at the same time?
You even sound like them.
Who?
Liberals, what's gotten into you?
What do you mean?
You love the lawn, and now you want to replace it with some kind of hippy-dippy urban wilderness?
The doorbell rings. Meredith goes to answer it. Bo grabs his golf bag and follows her to the front door.
We're not talking about this anymore.
Meredith opens the door. Standing there is Kizzy McBride. She is stylistically dressed, immaculately coiffed, and embarrassingly self-important.
Morning, Kizzy.
Good morning, Meredith. Do you have a moment?
Sure, come on in. Is Andy with you?
No.
Can I get you some coffee?
I'm good, thanks.
Bo shoulders his golf bag.
Well, I'll be getting along. Nice to see you, Kizzy.
Bo, this concerns you too.
Does it have to?
It won't take long.
So, what's up?
I'm here in a professional capacity.
Hun, I love your beauty products, but I'm good right now.
As president of the neighborhood association,
I told you.
it's about your front yard.
Yes, well, it's kind of messy right now.
No kidding.
Because we're in transition.
To what exactly?
Andy didn't tell you? We decided to give up on the lawn, what with the weeds and those darn moles, and go natural.
This is natural.
Nothing but. I've added a few plants and shrubs, but all native, no exotics. You see those little white flowers down by the pathway there? Aren't they cute? Anemone virginiana, otherwise known as thimbleweed. Oh, and just to the right of that, that is my new prairie rose. Very showy when she blooms, and the butterflies just love it.
Yes, so well.
And it's all going to come together naturally in its own good time.
I've had calls.
Who?
Neighbors.
Who?
Bo, let's not personalize this.
Jim Kowalski, right? Bet you $1 to a donut.
Some residents.
Leonora. Man, that woman came out the womb complaining.
Some residents are upset about the state of your yard and they want it tidied up, that's all.
They've never had moles. If they'd had moles...
Yes, I'm so sorry we've been put in this awkward position, but with us being family and all.
Oh, it's not awkward. But as president of the association, I have certain responsibilities to fulfill. Oh, and of course, I need to be strictly impartial.
Of course. But you know what? You might want to try it yourself.
I don't think so.
Liberate yourself from lawn care and protect the environment. What's not to love?
My wife, the tree hugger. Lord save us.
Yes, well, I've done my duty. Can't say I didn't warn you.
What do you mean?
Look, personally, I think what you do with your front yard is your business. But some people are talking about going to City Hall about this.
Who?
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too. Say hi to Andy.
She exits.
Peachy. Just peachy.
It'll be fine.
People are mad and I don't blame them. I mean, look at it.
You want some iced tea to cool you down?
No. Sure.
Meredith exits to the kitchen.
Lord above, what next?
The lights fade. Act 1, Scene 3. The same. Late afternoon, 2 weeks later, Meredith and Darlene Carpenter are drinking coffee. Darlene is reading a letter from the city's Environmental Health Division.
So, you're in violation of City Ordinance 04-948.
Because my grass is more than 8 inches high and I've been fined $50. My question is it constitutional?
The ordinance?
Do I have the constitutional right to do what I please with my front yard?
I assume so, yes, but...
You assume, Darlene?
Sweet Pea, I'm just a humble paralegal.
Can you find out?
Seriously?
Yes.
I guess so. I mean, I could do some research, talk to one of the partners informally.
More coffee?
Sure, thanks.
Meredith starts to refill their cups. She is evidently preoccupied with something.
You okay? What is it?
I was at the library yesterday. It was quiet, and I was reading the Clarion Tribune online. There was the story about one of our boys in Iraq, Jerry Folk.
Folk Family Farms?
He was Sam and Trisha's youngest boy.
Was?
He was celebrating his birthday with his buddies. He just cut the cake when the shell hit. Blew him all to pieces.
Oh, my Lord.
20 years old. Same age as Johnny was. They're both in the Lord's sweet care now, but I can't stop thinking about it. I mean, they gave their lives for our freedom, and I'm not free to have a lawn that's more than 8 inches high.
Well,
I know it sounds petty, but when you look at the big picture, I mean, they died so we can live our lives the way we choose.
and the Lord knows that is a precious thing.
The ordinance is an insult to their memory. It's un-American. I mean, think about it. What else are they going to tell us we can't do? Can't paint our house the color we want. Can't have kids play basketball in the driveway. Where does it end?
I think that's a little different.
The principle's the same. Johnny wouldn't stand for it, I can tell you that. And I wouldn't either.
What do you mean?
I'm going to challenge it
The ordinance?
on constitutional grounds.
Really?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, you've every right, of course, but is this really something you want to go to court over?
The law is there to protect our freedoms. If it doesn't do that, what good is it?
Bo enters tired and rumpled. It's been a long day.
Hey, Bo, how's it going?
Hi, Darlene.
Meredith goes to the refrigerator to get a beer for Bo as he lowers himself at the side of his favorite easy chair.
How are things going at the Mighty Taco? I love that name. It always makes me smile.
So you keep telling me.
What's wrong?
Joni quit on me today. She's going back to school.
Oh, that is too bad, dear. Well, look good for Joni. Physiotherapy, right? She'll be great at that. Joni Carter, Orville and Ruth's little girl. Well, not so little anymore.
The one with the sparkly pants?
Yes, she's a gem. Sparkly. Joni's been Bo's manager for going on 2 years now.
Oh my, that is a loss. What are you gonna do?
Find someone new with half a brain who speaks English. Easier said than done in this town.
Bo picks up the $50 fine letter.
What the heck? $50? I knew it. I knew this was trouble. This is on you.
I'm not paying it.
Well, who is? Santa Claus?
I'm going to court
What?
to challenge the law ordinance.
Mary thinks it may be unconstitutional.
And Darlene's going to research our options.
Whoa. Wait a minute. Did I just walk onto a movie set or something?
Oh, no one has the right to tell us what our front yard should look like.
Unless it's a jungle of weeds and looks like a vacant lot.
Even then.
For heaven's sake, Meredith, just pay the fine and we'll clean up the darn thing.
Have you been listening to me at all?
Look,
I want my front yard the way I want it. What is criminal about that?
honey, these regulations are there for a reason. Keep things tidy. Protect our property values. It's what people want.
It's not what I want, and it's my front yard.
Wait a minute. Joe Donnelly signed this. Joe owes me. I'll call him.
I already did.
And?
I told him I'm not paying the fine.
No. You pay the $50. We get the pest control people in, clear out this mess, lay new turf, done.
No, this is wrong, and I'm going to put it right.
The lights fade. Act 1, Scene 4. The same setting. Several weeks later, late afternoon, Bo is napping in his chair. He snores. Meredith rushes in.
Turn on the TV, quick!
What? What is it?
What do you think?
Bo turns on the TV. They watch. But for Meredith Stafford, this is just the beginning. She says she'll appeal all the way to the Supreme Court if necessary. Meanwhile, this mild-mannered children's librarian has some playful advice for all you gardeners out there obsessed with maintaining the perfect lawn.
This is about freedom, and if you want a wild garden, go for it. Go wild!
She switches off the TV.
Well, did I nail it?
Nail what?
Soundbite, stay on message. That's what Peter kept saying.
Who?
Peter Chang, my attorney. You should have heard him in court. He did great. He was clear and calm and very persuasive.
And you lost.
Oh, we expected to. This was just the first round. Peter thinks we'll have a real shot with the appeals court because the swing vote there is a diehard constitutionalist. I wish you'd been there.
I got a business to run.
Bo, it's not costing us a dime, okay? Peter's doing it all this pro bono, and I think we can win. I really do.
How are you feeling?
Fine.
Honey,
I feel great. I do.
this is not healthy for you.
Anything I do in Johnny's name is healthy for me.
That's not what Dr. Mendez said.
Well, he's not me, and neither are you.
Okay, but this crusade of
It's
yours,
not a crusade.
people don't think it's natural.
It's the most natural thing in the world, literally.
Meredith, it's weird.
As weird as your Civil War reenactments?
That is not weird. Don't you go telling me that's weird.
Excuse me, I'll think of a different word.
Sweetheart, this has got to stop.
Why?
It's just a lawn.
It's about a lot more than that.
Well, it sure as heck ain't worth riling up the neighbors, damaging my business, and making us a laughing stock all over town.
Would Johnny think that? Would Johnny laugh at what I'm doing?
The doorbell rings. At the same time, Meredith's cell phone rings. She goes to the door while checking the caller ID, which she doesn't recognize. She lets the call go to voicemail. Meredith opens the door. Darlene enters.
You've gone viral.
What?
Your Go Wild comment on TV. Look. Someone posted this on Instagram and it's already been watched 9,000 times.
Mercy.
And it's all over Twitter, Facebook, hashtag Go Wild Meredith.
The landline rings.
Leave it be, it's probably a reporter.
Meredith goes to answer it.
Meredith? Oh, for goodness sake.
Hello? Speaking? Well, thank you. I certainly do appreciate that. I see. Okay. Well, that's very interesting. Can I get back to you? I'm kind of busy right now. What's your number? Oh, I will just as soon as I can. Thank you for calling. You have a blessed day.
Who was that?
Alex Walker with the Green Future Organization.
Here we go.
What's Green Future?
An environmental group.
Eco-terrorists, more like it.
The phone rings again. He picks it up.
Go jump in a lake.
He slams down the phone.
Oh,
See what you've gone and done? Every eco-freak and fake news hack from here to Timbuktu is going to be beating down our door. And all because of that stupid weed patch out there.
The landline phone rings again. He pulls out the cord with an angry flourish.
Bo! Calm down.
What did he want?
Who?
The Green Future guy.
Alex Walker is a she, and she wants to meet with me.
Don't you go near her.
Excuse me?
I don't believe this. Now you want to get in bed with the Greenies?
It's just a meeting.
After what they've done to this town, to this country, they're job killers. Tens of thousands of good jobs gone forever because of environmental regulations. You can't piss in the wind without getting fined. Or worse.
What does she want to talk to you about?
Well, they have a new campaign to do with lawns.
Yeah, you bet they have. They want to use you, sweetheart.
Oh.
That's what these people do. They could care less about you and your natural garden or this community or anyone who doesn't recycle, eat tofu, and do yoga.
I do yoga.
And all they care about is their radical socialistic climate crisis agenda.
How do you know?
It's always about that.
So I'm just a pawn in the game, is that it?
Of course.
Well, I'm glad to know you take me for a fool.
I didn't mean that.
I thank the Lord that I work with children. They come to my library every day with open minds and open hearts.
You are not going.
Is that an order, Captain Stafford?
Yes.
Well, I must respectfully disobey.
That there is enemy territory.
Listen to yourself.
I'm serious.
So am I.
Well, I should get going. Unless you're...
No. Go ahead. I'll be fine.
Call me anytime, okay? Bye, Bo.
Bo nods. Darlene exits. A slight pause.
Look,
We see some things very differently.
don't do it.
What if I do?
I don't know. I haven't gotten that far.
Well, you might want to think about it.
I just want the lawn back the way it was.
You want everything back the way it was.
She exits to the kitchen to light spade. Act 1, Scene 5. The Common Ground Cafe. A few days later, Meredith sits across from Alex Walker. Meredith is drinking tea, Alex a latte.
It sounds wonderful.
Yes, I'm excited. Bo, my husband, he still needs some convincing.
Why is that?
The whole idea of a natural garden. He's suspicious of anything with the word natural in it.
Well, when he sees it in all its wild glory, I'm sure he'll come around.
I pray that he will. What about you, Miss Walker? Do you have a natural garden?
Oh, I wish. I'm in a second floor condo, but I have friends who do.
So you've had the opportunity
Oh,
to...
yes, I think they're great. They're the future.
Green future.
Exactly.
So what is this campaign you all are planning?
Mrs. Stafford, we've been investigating a new lawn treatment that's just come over the market. It's called New Dawn, and it's one of the most lethal products ever sold over the counter in this country.
Oh my lord.
We were shocked too.
How do you know it's that bad?
studies by the National Institutes of Health and the EPA.
Government agencies.
Independent researchers have come to the same conclusion. Do you have children or grandchildren, Mrs. Stafford?
Why do you ask?
Because New Dawn is especially harmful to children. Cancer, kidney and liver damage, multiple organ failure, the list goes on.
Johnny was 20.
Excuse me?
My son, he was in the Marines. He died in Iraq.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay. What about you? Do you have kids?
2 boys. Julius is 7 and Malcolm's 5. They're my joy and my motivation.
Of course.
Mrs. Stafford, unless we stop New Dawn, thousands of children and adults in this country will be poisoned, and many of them will die.
But how can that be true? I mean,
The data doesn't lie.
but surely if the government knows about it, they'll stop it.
They don't have the power.
Why not?
Money. The company behind New Dawn is spending millions to make billions. They've got an army of lobbyists and lawyers. They're planning a massive promotional campaign, and the government agencies simply don't have the resources to compete. It's David versus Goliath.
What does this have to do with my garden?
Okay, so Green Future is about to release an expose of New Dawn. We're calling for its immediate ban and a congressional inquiry. And we're urging people to switch to greener alternatives, like your natural garden.
I see.
Mrs. Stafford, when I saw you on TV, I was blown away. You were just so honest and direct and passionate. And I said to myself, wow, she'd be perfect.
For what?
Spokesperson for our Go Natural campaign.
You want to use me?
Mrs. Stafford, I know this is kind of out of the blue. We've just met, and you have no particular reason to trust me. If I was in your shoes, I'd be wary too. And given who we are, we probably don't agree on a lot of things. But on this issue, my guess is there isn't much difference between us. We all want clean water and clean air and safe, nutritious food for our families. We all want a healthy planet for our kids and their kids to inherit. This campaign will save lives and will save many more if you are part of it.
You really think so?
I know so. Oh, and one other thing. You've inspired us to rebrand our campaign. It is now called Go Wild.
Cool.
Great. So,
I'm very flattered. Miss Walker, I'm sure your organization does very worthy and important work, but I'm sorry, I can't help you.
Mrs. Stafford, we're not the bad guys here. We're not. The bad guys are the corporation that's peddling this lethal product and the corrupt politicians who are taking their money.
Can I see your report?
It's not quite finalized yet, but I have the executive summary with me.
Alex pulls a document from her bag, hands it to Meredith.
It'll tell you everything you need to know.
Thank you.
Slight pause as she scans the document.
What exactly would you want me to do?
Speak at the launch and do some media interviews, why you started your garden, why you love it, why it's good for everyone's health and the health of the planet. In your own words, from the heart. We'll be right there with you and we'll give you all the support you need.
Okay, well, thank you. This is good information to have.
Well, what do you think?
Kizzy McBride enters.
Kizzy, hi. What brings you here?
I've been trying to reach you.
Sorry, I turned off my phone for this meeting. This is...
Hi, I'm Alex.
Hi. Kizzy is my sister-in-law. Would you care to join us?
Rats.
What?
There are rats in your natural garden.
Oh, yeah. Are you sure? How many?
You need to take care of it immediately.
Of course. We were just wrapping up here anyway.
Meredith rises from her chair.
Thank you for the tea, Alex. It was very nice to meet you.
You too. I'll call you later.
Sure.
I really hope we can make this work.
Meredith and Kizzy exit. The lights fade. Act 1, Scene 6. The Stafford's living room 2 nights later. 10:15 p.m. Darkness. A loud crash of breaking glass and the dull thud of something heavy landing on the floor. Beau rushes in from the bedroom. He turns on a light and just avoids tripping over a large brick.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Meredith,
Meredith enters through the front door.
thank the Lord you're all right.
I'm fine. What happened?
Someone threw a brick through the window.
Mercy.
Now, careful, there's glass everywhere.
Meredith bends down to examine the brick.
Don't touch it.
As she removes a folded paper attached to the brick,
There's a note.
she unfolds and reads the note aloud.
Clean up your front yard, you woke commie scum, or we'll bury you there.
You satisfied now?
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. We are not okay. Someone is threatening to kill us because you want to go all wild and natural.
I'll call the
Now,
police.
you do that.
Bo?
Don't you bow me. We are done with this nonsense.
She takes out her phone and dials as the lights fade. Act 1, Scene 7, a police interview room. The next day, a table and 2 chairs. Meredith sits on one of the chairs. She is nervous. FBI Agent Jackson enters carrying a large, bulging duffel bag. Agent Jackson sits down opposite Meredith. The investigation is one of understated intimidation and menace.
Will you please tell me why I'm here?
Agent Jackson observes her impassively.
I told you everything last night. Well, not you personally.
Agent Castillo?
Yes, you're with the FBI too, right? Why is the FBI involved?
Agent Jackson looks at her without expression.
Whatever it is, can we please just sort it out quickly? I'm already late for work.
At the library?
Yes, and we're short-staffed at present, and I need to call my husband.
All in good time.
He'll be worried sick.
Miss Stafford, let's go over the events of last night.
It's all in my statement.
You said you spent the evening at the home of Mark and Elizabeth Hay?
How's the investigation going?
Miss Stafford,
Do you have any leads? Have you made an arrest?
please answer the question.
Yes, I was at the Hayes last night.
At 66 St. Joseph Street?
Yes.
Why were you there?
We were in a book club together. It was their turn to host this month.
And you arrived home at what time?
10:15, 10:20, something like that. We've been through all this.
Which
Which what?
10:15 or 10:20?
I don't know precisely. I didn't look at my watch.
Your husband stated that the brick came through the window 10 minutes after 10.
That sounds about right.
Did you see anyone leave the scene?
No, I wasn't expecting to.
You weren't expecting to.
It was late. It was a weeknight. We live on a quiet street. Why are you...
Do you know this woman?
Yes, I've met her once.
Once?
Yes.
Who is she?
Alex Walker.
What do you know about her?
She works for an organization called Green Future.
Is that what she told you?
Yes.
When you met with her at the Common Ground Cafe last Thursday?
Well, initially on the phone.
So you met twice. What do you know about Green Future?
Can you please tell me what's going on?
Answer the question, Ms. Stafford.
They're a non-profit organization. From what I understand, they do public education work and research on environmental things.
Why did you meet with Alex Walker?
She asked me to. She wanted to know if I could help with their new campaign.
On you, Dawn?
Could I have a glass of water? I'm so dry.
Sure. You want a muffin too?
Just water, thank you.
I'll be right back.
Agent Jackson exits. Meredith quickly takes her cell phone out, dials a number. There's no service. Frustrated, she returns the cell phone to her bag. Agent Jackson re-enters with a cup of water and a plate of muffins, places them on the table.
You ever had a pecan pie muffin? My wife made them special.
He gestures to Meredith to help herself.
No, thank you.
They're to die for.
I need to call my husband.
Agent Jackson savors his muffin.
You sure?
Agent Jackson.
Agent Jackson interrupts her while sliding 3 mugshots across the table.
Do you know these individuals?
She looks at the photos.
No, I've never seen them before.
They're members of Green Future.
Really?
All 3 are under federal indictment for acts of eco-terrorism.
What are they supposed to have done?
They set fire to 7 bulldozers at a pipeline construction site.
Mercy.
Agent Jackson extracts Bo's Confederate uniform from the duffel bag.
Have you seen this before?
Yes, it belongs to my husband. He does reenactments, Civil War battles. Where did you get it?
What about this?
He puts Beau's musket on the table.
You searched my house?
Is this his too?
Why?
Does this firearm belong to your husband?
Do you have a warrant?
Does he own it?
Yes, it's an antique. I'm not even sure if it works.
And these?
He places 2 automatic weapons on the table. Meredith is speechless.
We found these in your basement. With some suspicious article of clothing?
He reaches into the duffel bag and pulls out 2 camouflage vests and 2 black ski masks.
It's not possible
What's not possible?
that these things were in my house.
So they're not yours.
No.
Are you sure?
Of course, I'm sure.
So everything here belongs to your husband.
No.
How do you know?
Because I know my husband.
So why were they in your basement?
Agent Castillo enters.
Ah, Agent Castillo.
Reuben! Oh, thank the Lord. There's been some terrible mix-up.
You interviewed Miss Stafford last night, correct?
Correct?
Shift to another part of the stage. We are now in the Stafford's living room at 12:15 a.m. earlier that day.
So you arrived home immediately after the incident.
Yes.
Did you see anyone running away?
No.
Did you hear the window break?
No, I guess I was too far away.
Your husband said it was very loud.
Yes, well,
I'd have dove under the table.
excuse me?
Instinct. I was in the service in Iraq.
My son was there too.
Is that right? When?
2009, 2010 in Fallujah?
I was in Fallujah then too.
Really?
Yeah. My second tour.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Maybe you knew him. Johnny Stafford?
Johnny Stafford.
1st Battalion, 3rd Marines?
No, afraid not. What's he doing now?
Meredith dissolves. He comforts her.
I'm sorry, sometimes it just...
You should be very proud.
I am. It just doesn't make it any easier.
No, ma'am.
Agent Castillo?
Reuben, please.
Reuben. It's a nice name.
Thank you. I gotta say,
What?
that brick, he could have been maimed or killed. Makes me wanna
What?
respond in kind. Blow the son of a bitch away. Excuse my French. You ever feel like that?
Like what?
That you're ready to kill someone?
I'm ready to kill my husband sometimes.
Yeah?
He's always so sure he's right. Just plows ahead, no matter what. Bull in a china shop. I'll do what I have to do.
Shift. We are back in the interview room in this present. Agent Jackson pushes a button on a small electric device that is now on the table in front of them. We hear Meredith's recorded voice.
I'm ready to kill. I'll do what I have to do.
Mrs. Stafford?
I want to call my lawyer.
The 2 agents are impassive.
I'm entitled to 1 phone call, I know that.
Mrs. Stafford, you haven't been charged with a crime.
I will not answer any more questions without my lawyer present.
That suggests you have something to hide. Do you have something to hide, Mrs. Stafford?
No, I do not.
I'm glad to hear it. Please read this out loud.
Agent Jackson pushes a Ziploc evidence bag across the table. It contains the message that was attached to the brick. Meredith hesitates, then picks up the bag. She reads the message through the plastic.
Clean up your front yard, you woke commie scum, or we'll bury you there.
Is that your handwriting?
Excuse me?
Your fingerprints are on the note. Did you write it? Or did you have someone write it for you?
You think?
What, Mrs. Stafford? What do I think?
Blackout. Act 2 of Going Wild. Act 2, Scene 1, the Stafford's living room. The following day, Darlene is sitting with Meredith.
Morty,
Meredith shakes her head.
let me fix you something to eat. Mary, you need to eat.
Meredith rises slowly, looks out over her garden.
I'm sorry Peter Chang can't help. It's just not his area of expertise, but he did refer me.
They accused me of being a terrorist.
Bo enters through the front door amid sounds of a media hubbub behind him and shouted questions from reporters camped on their doorstep. Has your wife been charged, Mr. Stafford?
Where did she get those guns?
Mr. Stafford!
Is your wife a Muslim?
Get out of my yard, you jackals! All of you, get the heck out.
Bo slams the door.
Frickin' fake media. How you feeling?
I've been better.
Putting you through all this. I mean, it's a disgrace. It's criminal.
But we know, and God knows, that Mary has done absolutely nothing wrong.
They lied.
Well,
And they planted evidence to incriminate us.
now that's a mighty big leap.
Mary's right.
How do you know?
Who else put those guns in the basement? Did you?
Of course not, but that doesn't mean...
And that illegal recording spliced and diced to make it look like I'm some kind of murderous militant? Who is also crazy enough, apparently, to attack her own house. This is the FBI we're talking about. The FBI!
Darlene's cell phone pings. She reads a text on the screen and goes to the front door.
Andy's here.
Andy,
Darlene opens the front door and Andy enters. He is somewhat traumatized from navigating the media scrim outside the house. He's wearing his Confederate uniform and carrying a preposterously large bouquet of flowers.
Heaven help us, they are brutal.
I thought you were at the Battle of First
It
Manassas.
felt like it. I'm actually on my way there now.
You are? You're not going?
Of course not. I'm staying right here with you.
I just had to stop by with a little something to brighten your day.
Wow, oh, they're gorgeous. Thank you, Andy.
They're not wild, but their ancestors were, I guess, at some point.
He pulls out a pill bottle and hands it to her.
And Dr. Mendez called this in. Once a day for 2 weeks. They won't make you loopy, just take the edge off.
Bless you.
You may have a little diarrhea at first, but it'll pass.
I'll bring you a glass of water.
Darlene exits to the kitchen.
What a nightmare. You poor thing. I'm so sorry. How are you feeling?
Stressed and angry.
No wonder. They assaulted you. Emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, every which way. It is appalling. And how could they possibly think? I mean, you, of all people, who will one day commune with the angels.
Andy's phone pings with an incoming text. He glances at the message as Darlene enters with a glass of water and hands it to Meredith.
Thank you.
No, I gotta go. Dave's getting Nancy.
Dave marshals your ride.
And he got his license back.
Lord save us.
Mary, you take good care, okay?
I'll do my
I
best.
will pray for you
Bless you.
and give them holy hell when appropriate.
Andy exits.
Such a sweet man.
Why did the FBI do this to me?
You know, maybe it wasn't quite like you imagined.
What do you mean?
Well, things can get kind of distorted when you're stressed.
Bo, I know what they accused me of, or insinuated.
Of course you do.
I was interrogated. It was like Nazi Germany or Russia, or someplace like that.
Okay, but
They're trying to frame me.
now see, we don't know the full circumstances.
Mary is obviously their target.
You don't know that.
They haven't given you the 3rd degree,
Not yet.
or anyone else for that matter.
But why? And why me?
Eco-terrorism. That's what this is all about. You met that woman from whatever it is.
Green future.
They already indicted 3 of them. You got caught in the net.
Maybe, maybe not. But that does not excuse the FBI from acting illegally.
Hey, you gotta fight fire with fire. These crazies will stop at nothing.
And that justifies ignoring the law? Where does it end?
Let's talk about your legal reputation.
Yes, let's do that.
I got a couple of recommendations from Peter Chang, Joanna Savage, and Arthur Chapman. I haven't reached either one of them yet.
Despite leaving multiple messages,
I'll keep trying.
let's face it, I'm toxic.
Oh, sweetheart.
People are afraid.
Well, we'll find you a lawyer who isn't. Someone good who will do you proud.
Don't say I promise.
I promise. Sorry.
We should call the ACLU.
Darlene and Bo look at her in shocked disbelief.
The American Civil Liberties Union?
Yes.
They'd eat you alive.
Mary, they are far left extremists.
Anyway, who says you need a lawyer?
Trust me, she needs a lawyer.
Bo, they are trying to frame me.
But you already have the best defense.
And what pray is that?
You've done nothing wrong, like Darlene said, and they ain't got a shred of evidence says you did.
Which is why they're trying to manufacture it.
Who did throw that brick through that window?
If I find him, I'll break his head.
Bo, please.
And did they act alone, or were they part of some group?
Meredith, overwhelmed, crumples in distress.
Oh, Lord, 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 Lord.
With his help, we will endure. Yes. And we will win.
Meredith nods.
Sweetheart,
What?
you don't have to keep going with this thing.
Of course I do.
No, you don't.
This is for Johnny.
You need to lie down.
Fine.
Sweetie, you are dying on your feet.
Darlene takes Meredith's arm as they move together towards the bedroom. Meredith stops and turns to Darlene.
Why are you so good to me?
Because you're my friend, and I love you. And you saved my life? Something like that? Let's go.
They exit to the bedroom. A few moments later, Darlene enters.
She'll rest even if she doesn't sleep. You know, your wife's a very courageous and determined woman.
And she sure is.
But Lord is testing her.
It's testing all of us.
How you doing?
You know, if only she had it. I mean, I'm not blaming her. Well, I guess I am. But this wild garden thing, of all the harebrained cockamamie schemes on God's green earth, it's got to be. I mean, it's up there. It's way up there.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. I guess. I gotta be, right?
You miss Johnny too.
Not a day goes by. But Mary, I mean,
Bo, she is trying to honor him the best way she knows how.
yeah, I know. But why does it have to be this? You okay?
I'm excited. That sounds weird, I know, and I feel guilty saying it. But this is what I should be doing. Not real estate closing or researching legal precedent. I'm helping a dear friend use the law to get justice. That's why I went into law in the first place. To make it work for regular folks. I haven't felt so alive in so long. Bo,
Why?
this can be healing for all of us.
A slight pause while she waits in vain for his response.
I'll bring that casserole over later.
God bless you.
Darlene exits. Bo is lost in thought. The lights fade. Act 2, Scene 2. The same setting. The next day. Bo and Meredith have been in conversation. Meredith is holding her cell phone, poised to make a call.
Don't, please.
You got a better idea?
Darlene is on it.
And getting nowhere fast.
No, she just talked to this guy.
Who?
He's at some conservative legal foundation.
The doorbell rings.
Friggin' reporters.
It rings again.
Go see who it is, please.
Bo opens the front door. It's Alex Walker.
Mr. Stafford,
No comment, get off my property.
I'm Alex Walker with Green Future.
Well, talk of the devil.
Is Mrs. Stafford here?
Bo, it's fine. Show her in, please.
Bo steps aside. Alex enters.
How are you doing, Mrs. Stafford? I am so sorry about what happened.
Thanks to you and your terrorist friends.
This is my husband, Bo.
Hi.
You've got some nerve coming here.
Mr. Stafford.
What do you want?
Mr. Stafford, I'm here because I want to help you and your wife understand what's going on.
That's very kind. Can I get you some iced tea, coffee?
I'm good, thank you.
Please sit yourself down.
Thank you. Before we start, I should tell you, the FBI is almost certainly listening in on this conversation.
This room is bugged.
Of course it is.
Not that they'll learn anything new. They already know what I'm going to tell you. Mrs. Stafford, when we first met, I said that Green Future was about to release a report about the dangers of New Dawn.
Dish detergent can be hard on your hands.
What I didn't talk about is the relationship between the company that makes New Dawn and certain American politicians. These politicians have not only received generous campaign contributions to shill for the company in Congress, they've also received stock in New Dawn itself, a lot of stock, secretly and illegally. They stand to make millions from a product that will injure and kill thousands of their fellow Americans.
Like opioids.
Unless we expose the whole scam. Of course, they'll claim it's all fake news based on fake science from a fake terrorist organization.
Where do you get all of this stuff?
For the record, our 3 indicted members were framed, just like you, and we can prove it.
But what about the FBI?
The company has friends in the FBI.
Friends?
Corrupt officers who are paid off.
That's it.
Bo,
This is total BS.
Bo.
I mean, come on.
let Alex finish. Go ahead, Alex.
Mrs. Stafford, the company sees you as a dangerous threat.
Me? Why?
Because you care. And you're offering a simple and safe alternative to folks who want to put the health of their family before the health of their lawn. I mean, the way Go Wild has taken off, your popularity on social media, the wild gardens springing up everywhere, it's powerful. It's very powerful. You could seriously hurt you, John, and their bottom line. That's why they're using their FBI friends to try and silence you.
So the attack on our house was carried out by the FBI?
By rogue agents or people who hired by them. You'll also be accused of staging the attack as a publicity stunt for our Go Wild campaign, if necessary.
If necessary?
If harassment and intimidation don't shut you up.
Oof. Wow. I mean, that is some tall tale. I mean, you deserve some kind of literary prize for that. You know what else I'm thinking? I don't need this. I don't need to pollute my ears with your filth.
Oh.
No, it's the same old story. You radical woke lefties, you create this fantasy world and you blame everything you don't like on the president or the FBI or the military. Any straight-talking patriot with a backbone. Makes me sick to my stomach.
What if she's right?
About what? That some sleazy politicians are working with an evil corporation to make a fortune out of lawn care? That they're so darn greedy they don't care if they poison their own people? That some corrupt FBI agents are part of the whole crazy conspiracy?
These days, nothing would surprise me.
You get out. Mary, I'm sorry, but this whole thing is out of control. All right, we got to get back to the basics. No more natural anything. I'm going to re-turf that front yard and nuke the darn moles if I have to.
You are a quitter.
No, I am trying to protect you.
What about our rights?
You mean the ordinance?
Oh, this isn't just about how high you can grow your grass. If a tenth of what Alex says is true, we've all got a serious problem on our hands.
That's what they want you to think, don't you see? That's how their propaganda works. Keep repeating the lies, and sooner or later, people will believe you.
Alex, what do you think we should do?
What are you asking her for? She's got no say in this.
You're right, Mr. Stafford, I don't. Your wife can stay in this fight or opt out. It's her choice. But that new Dawn hit squad isn't going anywhere. There's too much at stake.
See, there she goes again, manipulating. You're screwed either way. You might as well keep on going. Well, I got news for you, you lying little lesbian tree hugger. We are done. We're done with this, and we're done with you.
Bo points to the front door.
It's been a pleasure. I hope you feel better. Call me anytime, okay? I love how the garden's coming along out there.
Thanks. It is starting.
Out.
It's going to be spectacular.
Now!
Good to meet you too, Mr. Stafford.
Bo ignores her offer of a handshake. Alex exits. Slight pause.
You should not have treated her that way.
She's a lying piece of garbage.
It was unkind, unnecessary, and unchristian.
You're right. I'm sorry. But what she said, I mean...
I don't want to believe it either, but we need to take it seriously.
Meaning what?
We have to do something.
Bo's phone pings with a text. He reads it.
Holy moly, the cash register's on the fritz again.
Go.
Are you sure?
I'll be fine.
Okay, I'll be right back.
He exits. Meredith crosses the center and surveys the garden. She examines Alex's business card, looks again at the garden. She's lost in thought. A moment. Johnny Stafford, her son, in desert battle fatigues and carrying a gun, appears. He smiles at her. Her face lights up and she moves towards him.
Johnny!
Suddenly there's a violent banging on the front door. A startled Meredith looks away, looks towards the door. When she turns back to face Johnny, he's disappeared. Meredith goes to the door and opens it. Agents Jackson and Castile stand there. They brandish their FBI badges and enter.
Meredith, Jane Stafford,
Yes.
FBI, you're under arrest.
What? Reuben, why is this happening?
Agent Castillo handcuffs Meredith and avoids eye contact with her.
You have the right to remain silent,
Reuben!
but I must warn you, anything you say may be given in evidence.
Agents Jackson and Castillo hustle Meredith out the front door. The lights fade. Act 2, Scene 3. Bear stage. A press conference outside the police station. The next day, Meredith is addressing the assembled news media, unseen. She is reading from a prepared script. Bo is standing off to the side and behind her. TV lights, flashes and clicks of cameras.
Good morning. My name is Meredith Stafford. I want to take this opportunity to set the record straight. I have been charged with several alleged offenses, including unlawful possession of firearms. I am innocent. I have been a Republican all my life. I am a patriot.
Why the automatic weapons, Miss Stafford?
I believe America is the greatest country in the world.
What were you planning to do with them?
Allow me to finish, please. I believe in democracy and freedom and in faith and family. My husband and I raised our son Johnny to believe in these values too. He gave his life for them in Iraq.
Are you an eco-terrorist?
The loan ordinance violates my constitutional rights, and the FBI is doing the exact same thing by bringing those bogus charges against me. There's something very wrong going on
What do
here.
you mean?
But I'll tell you this.
What's very wrong?
They're not going to stop me.
Mrs. Stafford!
No one is going to stop me. My garden is as wild as the good Lord intended, and yours can be too. Go wild!
Meredith moves to exit. A flurry of camera clicks and flashes follow her as reporters call up further questions. But what's your relationship with Green Future?
Thank you, and may God bless
Are
America.
you inciting violence by going wild?
What do you hope to achieve?
Mrs. Stafford! Mrs. Stafford!
Miss Stafford! Miss Stafford! The reporter's voices fade as the lights fade. Act 2, Scene 4. The Stafford's living room. 2 days later, early afternoon, Meredith is in conversation with Darlene.
Some of them wouldn't even look at me.
The staff?
The children. It was like I was a stranger, an alien. I've known most of them since they were babies. Watched them grow up, read them stories at story time, showed them how to use a computer.
But isn't there a process? I mean, you had a contract, right?
Dorothy Hanson called me into her office. There's this young guy in a suit sitting there, a lawyer from the state. She tells me my position at the library is no longer tenable and I am dismissed with immediate effect.
But they can't do that, surely.
I've been the children's librarian for 23 years. It's my dream job. I never wanted to do anything else.
Bo enters with an English muffin on a plate.
Your favorite? English muffin with plum preserve? Just what the doctor ordered.
I'm not hungry. Sorry.
Sweet Pea, you need to.
What I most need and never seem to get is a good lawyer.
But I thought Tony Ashford.
He was clueless. I was lucky I got bail.
I left a message at Congressman Wright's office. He's on the House Judiciary Committee. He'll sort out this nonsense.
If he ever returns your calls.
Hun, we've got your back in spades. Darlene's here, Andy came by, Pastor Robert called.
He'd be here too. If it wasn't for those varicose veins, everyone in our prayer circle is praying for you, Mary.
Well, I appreciate that, I do. But what else are they doing? Aside from Mary Beth leaving a mac and cheese on the doorstep that the raccoons ate.
Well,
I called the ACLU,
Oh boy.
American Civil Liberties Union. I'm American. My civil liberties are being violated. The union I could do without, but you can't have everything.
Meredith, the ACLU is part of the whole atheistic liberal cabal.
All I know is that they defend people's rights and they might just keep me out of jail.
You're not going to jail.
Just like I wasn't going to be arrested or lose my job or lose my son. I had a dream last night about Johnny. He was walking through the desert. The sun was blinding. He was in his uniform and he had his pack and his rifle and everything. He was moving real slow, like in slow motion. Suddenly, right ahead of him in the cluster of palm trees, and he walks through the trees and into a garden. It's wild. A wild Eden. Lush and alive and bursting, almost vibrating with energy. There are flowers everywhere, and trees and birds and insects, all kinds of critters. And the colors, beyond any rainbow I could ever imagine. It's like Mother Nature is celebrating. And my heart is too. amazing feeling that I'm completely and unconditionally loved. And I say to myself, what is it? What could it be? And I realize it's God's grace. I look over at Johnny, and he's smiling. He doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. His smile says it all. Don't doubt me. Don't doubt yourself. And above all, don't doubt the Lord.
He's with us always.
Amen.
What'd the ACLU say?
They're interested.
I bet they are.
I'm going to meet with them, if it's okay with you.
It's not, and I won't pretend otherwise. But one thing I do know, as God is in his heaven, we are going to get you your life back.
Bo's cell phone rings. He checks the caller ID, takes the call.
What's up? Oh, for Pete's sake, I'll call you in 5.
He ends the call.
What is it?
There are protesters outside the restaurant. Don't buy terrorist tacos.
No way.
The police are there, the TV crews, and
Go deal with it.
I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere.
Bo's cell phone rings again. He looks at the caller ID, takes the call.
hey, Brian, you old dog, how you been? It's been way too long. Really? Wow, okay, yeah, of course we need to. Sure, 9:30, you got it. See you then.
Who was that?
Brian Badaracco at corporate. He wants to see me.
About what?
The future of the franchise. You didn't say that, but that's what it is.
What's going on?
There's a boycott campaign on social media. Same message, don't buy terrorist tacos.
Oh, for crying out loud.
I could lose it. I could lose the franchise. What would we do? How would we live?
Bo, don't go all catastrophic on me now. Darlene, will you please go to the restaurant with Bo? He could use the company.
No problem.
I can handle this myself.
Sure you can, but support never hurts.
Bo and Darlene turn to leave.
Bo,
What?
stay strong
Keep cool.
and trust in the Lord.
Bo and Darlene exit, the lights fade. Act 2, Scene 5, same setting. 1 week later, Meredith is seated on the couch in front of a U.S. Postal Service box full of unopened mail. Several letters she's just opened are beside her. She's reading one of them. She puts it down, selects another letter from the box at random, and opens that. As she starts to read, the doorbell rings. She's startled. She goes to the door.
Who is it?
It's Kizzy.
And Andy.
Meredith opens the door. Kizzy and Andy McBride are standing there. He's in his white pharmacist jacket and brandishes another over-the-top floral offering. She's dressed to the nines as usual.
Oh, you poor dear, what an ordeal. You must be beside yourself.
A fresh bouquet of hope and resistance.
Oh, thank you, Andy.
I figured the other ones were dead by now.
Meredith, let me say this right off the bat. As you know, I was not super enthusiastic about your wild garden.
Understatement of the year.
And my apologies. They weren't rats, they were squirrels.
I thought they might be.
But these attacks on you, this demonizing, it's like the Twilight Zone. I mean, it's just, oh, and then they fire you from your job. Our wonderful children's librarian who's loved and nurtured generations of our little ones. It's outrageous.
It's insane.
We tried calling you.
I haven't been picking up. The hate calls
No, really?
and hate
Oh
mail.
my lord.
I just opened a bunch more. Some of them are actually supportive.
Of course.
Meredith, I'm so proud of you. You are a hero, a genuine hero.
I certainly don't feel like one.
Well, wait, you don't know, do you?
About the protest at Mighty Taco?
Oh, that. Bunch of Looney Tunes from out of town. No, I'm talking about you, Meredith Stafford, a.k.a. the Go Wild Gal. You are huge right now.
Massive.
People love you. They're inspired by you.
You are a blazing sunburst on social media.
The charges were obviously absurd, and now with this report
What report?
by some environmental
The
group,
green future.
it's a bombshell.
I know what it
You
says.
do?
I met with the director the other week, Alex, at the cafe.
Oh, right. Well, it's all over the news. The New Dawn people and those sleazebag politicians are denying everything, of course. malicious fiction, more fake news from the eco-terrorists, blah, blah, blah. But the media is off to the
They
races.
can't get enough of it.
And the wild cards.
They're spreading like wildfire.
Really?
We even started one.
I had to twist her arm.
Not true.
You're the queen of manicure. This was a big sacrifice for you.
True.
We so love our new wild child. She is awesome.
Or will be.
Who knew benign neglect could be so creative?
Well, good. I'm glad.
I have a comprehensive Go Wild plan for the entire neighborhood. We should talk.
The amazing thing is the numbers, the scale.
And it's all kinds of people.
It's gotten crazy.
Like this wave of wildness all over the town.
And it's not just here. It's across the state, across the country.
And sooner or later, across the planet. We're a movement, that's what we are. You, dearest Mary, have started a movement that will liberate 1 million lost and 1 million lost souls.
Oh, I didn't think so.
No. You have performed a priceless public service by simply going wild. It's genius. You should be officially recognized by a grateful nation. In fact, I am going to propose
We are going to propose.
that we rename a local wildlife flower in your honor. Are you ready for this? Mereditha ecstatica. I thought of it in the shower.
The doorbell rings.
That'll be Darlene. She has some kind of surprise for me.
Kizzy goes to the front door, opens it.
So what do you think?
Meredith is saved from having to respond by Darlene, who enters wearing a bright green t-shirt emblazoned with the words, "Go Wild! Justice for Meredith Stafford." She excitedly and triumphantly waves a clipboard.
23 signatures in 40 minutes.
Darlene gives Kizzy a warm hug.
Sweet pea, we are gonna get your job back.
We?
Your friends, neighbors, and admirers. We launched a petition.
We're collecting signatures all around town.
And online.
Everybody wants to sign.
Not everybody.
Lenora,
Lenora.
Jim Kowalski.
Oh, darn.
You get the whole neighborhood association behind us.
Madam President.
Oh, well, I don't know about that.
And that stupid law and order?
Will soon be consigned to the trash can of history.
We're putting pressure on that mayor to dump it.
He knows a winning issue and he sees it.
I tell you, it is all happening.
It's wild.
Shift to a kind of dreamscape. Kizzy, Andy, and Darlene exit, leaving Meredith alone on stage. Projected images show diverse people working in their colorful wild gardens. Transformational music. Meredith surveys all the activity with delight and amazement. Johnny enters. He's in battle fatigues. He stretches out his hand to his mother, an invitation to dance. She takes his hand. They dance. As they do so, the garden images, the music, and the lights around start to fade. They are finally dancing silently in a single pool of lights. They come to a halt. Johnny smiles and takes her hand in his. He gives Meredith's hands encouraging squeeze in support of what she will do next. She nods. He releases her hand and slowly withdraws into the shadows. She watches him until he disappears. She turns and crosses to another part of the stage where a light comes up to reveal a small table and 2 chairs. Reuben is seated on one of them, looking at his cell phone. We're now in the Common Stream Cafe. Ambient cafe sounds.
I thought I recognized a friendly face.
Miss Stafford, what are you doing here?
May I join you?
Without waiting for a response, she sits down opposite him.
Miss Stafford,
Meredith.
I can't talk to you.
Look, I appreciate
No, I really can't, okay?
I finally put 2 and 2 together.
You need to leave.
Johnny had a Puerto Rican buddy in Iraq. That was you.
Meredith takes a photograph from her bag, slides it across the table.
I found this in his box of mementos.
It's a photo of Johnny and Agent Castillo in uniform in Iraq. Castillo looks at the picture.
I believe it was taken in Fallujah. Was it?
Yes.
You were in the same unit.
Yes.
He pushes the photo back across the table. Meredith picks it up, looks at it.
Big smiles, arms around each other, like you were on vacation. You were more than friends, weren't you?
Agent Castillo does not respond. He's trying to hold it together.
Johnny came out to me shortly before he deployed. It was no great surprise.
First time we met, I knew. We both knew. It was so fast, scary, crazy, wonderful.
You look very happy together.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
It was my life.
Ruben, I have a question that I have to ask you. It's harsh, I'm afraid. It's a harsh question, but I really do need the answer. Okay?
Okay,
Why did you betray him?
I didn't.
You framed his mother. You're a good person, Ruben, a caring person. I felt that instinctively when we first met. And Johnny was an excellent judge of character. The fact that he loved you, well, there could be no higher recommendation in my book. So please, help me understand. Why did you do those things?
Miss Stafford, you know I can't discuss any of this with you.
Why did you make me look like a terrorist? Why did you put those guns in my basement?
Like I said,
I could have gone to jail for years.
when I was assigned to this case, I had no idea you were Johnny's mom. I swear to God, it was a crazy coincidence.
But after you found out, you didn't stop.
I had no choice.
Everyone has a choice.
They have information about me.
I see.
No, you don't. Not a chance.
That bad, huh?
They own me.
So you were forced to do some things you didn't want to do.
Yes. Yes. Oh God, I'm so... What can I do? How could I possibly...
Well, Ruben, I'd suggest for starters that you pray to God and seek His forgiveness. I'm not ready to forgive you yet, but with the Lord's help, I will in time. Second, you must make me a promise.
What?
Promise me that you will stay in touch.
Really?
You and Johnny were soulmates.
Yes.
We're family.
She starts to leave. He goes to her and hugs her. A moment. She detaches herself.
Take care of yourself, Ruben.
She exits. He watches her go. The lights fade. Act 2, Scene 6. The Stafford's front yard patio. Bird song. Insect hum. Soft late summer light. Meredith and Beau are seated in lawn chairs. They are surveying the garden.
You know, it's growing on me.
Gardens do that.
I guess I'm going wild.
Well, hallelujah. I knew you had it in you.
But I'm not a greenie. Don't you go mistaking me for a greenie.
Oh, God forbid. But you have helped plant the seeds.
Well, not really.
Beau, there are hundreds of gardens like this being started every day all over the country and around the world, apparently.
But that does not make me a greenie.
But it's a good thing. Just like it's a good thing that the only Dawn on the market now is a dishwashing liquid.
Maybe it always was.
Beau.
Maybe it was all fake news, the FBI framing you, the secret bank accounts. There's been no real proof of any of that.
Beau, my arrest wasn't fake. My interrogation wasn't fake. The false charges, the hate calls, being fired from my job, none of that was fake. It was real and tangible and traumatic. All of it.
Of course, but
And I'm going to sue them for every red cent I can get.
you are?
With the help of the ACLU.
Sweetheart?
This is not over. This is just the beginning. It is so beautiful.
Yes.
We should give it a name.
It's a front yard.
Our front yard is not a good name.
You have something in mind?
Johnny's garden.
Johnny's garden. I like that.
A slight
A
pause.
beer?
I'll get it. Iced tea?
Sure. And an English muffin with plum preserve.
Coming right up.
Beau rises from his chair and exits to the kitchen. Meredith contemplates the garden in all its glory and peace. The lights fade. End of play.